Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. I am back with Christmas in July Day 6, and our theme for Christmas in July today is Silent Night. I think I'm going to do a winter scene. That's what I think I'm going to do. Apologies for the sniffles, it's just hay fever, and I am filming this on the hottest day we've had so far, 25th of June. On record. I have just made or started to make yesterday's card, which you'll have already seen by now if you've watched it. If not, go back, watch. There's a whole playlist of Christmas in July. Currently it's at a drying stage over there, so I can't do any more on that one because I decided to go a bit mixed media. So I thought, right, well, let's start on day 6 because I am way behind on my schedule where I wanted to be in terms of things filmed ahead of time. And I'm in slight panic mode. So, despite the fact that it's roasting and I really just want to go and lie in a darkened room or have a cold shower, I'm going to crack on, make another Christmas card. So, as I say, Silent Night. For those that don't know, Christmas in July, I do a Christmas project every day in July with a video. Mammoth undertaking, hence the slight panic. I am nowhere near ready for it to be July next week. Because I like to be at least half of them done by now. Hey ho, we'll see what happens. Please subscribe if you want to see more. There are playlists out there for last year's and the year before's, as well as this year's that we are currently in. Please leave me a little comment below as to what you like, and let's crack on. So this card started with a white piece of cardstock. And I ummed and ahed, but decided, no, I was going to do a DL-shaped card for this one. I just fancied sort of a nice, tall, slim scene, really, and I'm using indigo blue stamps. Basically, this kind of card, you could use any kind of silhouette stamps, so stamps where you've not got an outline and you're colouring in, it's more that they're just like a block stamp. I hope that makes sense. This technique will work for any of those to create a scene, and I just wanted a nice winter scene and a night sky as it was Silent Night. So I started with all my colours. So I went with a pink, a yellow and a blue in the Distress inks, and it looks a right old mess when you start off, but you just have to persevere and keep going when you then put on your black soot inky layer. And then I tore some paper to create my landscapes, and I must admit I did kind of shade a little bit too much, and I did kind of go with some really big slopes. Again, really doesn't matter. I think it's quite forgiving. It drifts in the snow, and all you're doing is kind of creating some layers so that it looks like it goes into the background. And then the fun bit of splattering. So I used a fan brush and some water to just splatter over, then use my lovely inky rag to pick up some of the water. That starts to bleach it out, and then I added some white gesso to that water and went in with quite a fine splatter all over the front of the card, including on the white parts, or the bits that were sort of the snow covered ground, because of course the snow doesn't just appear in the sky, it does appear on the ground as well. So I thought that that was a really nice way of finishing off that kind of background. Now, I have sped that up, that was 4 times, but to be honest, it was a really quick card to make. Because that background did take, so it probably took me about maybe 5-6 minutes, maybe a little bit longer to do. Not very long at all, because I've got my inks ready. So it was quite an easy one to do. Now I've decided I'm stamping 2 sets of the trees. So one that looks like little Christmas trees and one that looks like twiggy trees in the background. And I am stamping these little bunny rabbits. I must admit, I have another set. I think it was woodware with some quite modern looking deer. I think that might have been a better one to do than the rabbits. But I went with the rabbits. Why not? Why not? Some little winter bunnies. I stamped them using my stamp positioner. The reason I did that is because I knew I wanted it to be a really solid black on the pigment ink that I was using there, and I thought it would be better to do 2 or 3 layers of the ink to make sure it was really solid. And then the final stamp I'd put on was that bigger tree, which I just put in the foreground, again just to kind of off the side, off the edge of it. It just makes it look like it's part of a landscape and you're only seeing a little part of it. Now, you'll have seen I've decided to make a card blank out of vellum, and then I'm going to put an insert on each side of the card because I don't want to see the tape through. Even my fabulous Kingston Crafts tape runner that I use most of the time when I'm working with vellum, I think even that would probably show it when you've got nothing else there as a pattern or anything. So I decided to just go with bog standard double-sided tape, but to put a layer on the inside of the same size of card as you have on the outside, and do that on the back and the front of the card. This also strengthens the vellum. The vellum I'm using is weight enough to be able to cope with this, but I think it really benefits from being strengthened with a little bit of reinforcement with having that white card added in. And I just thought having a vellum card was just a bit different. You know what? You don't have to have your card bases made out of cardstock. Other things will work, and I thought that was quite a nifty, cute little way of finishing the card off. So I'd got that little bit of the scene, the sky that I have trimmed off. So I'm just going to turn that into a little banner and add it to the inside. As we know, all about the insides this year. I don't know if I'll do it on every single card, but I'll try. And then I needed to decide on a sentiment for the front. And this probably took them the longest time, was choosing a sentiment. So I went through things that were already pre-cut, and ended up, at first I thought I was going with that Let It Snow, and then I remembered I got this piece that I think is Colorado Crafts. Could be a Stampin' Up one. No, I think it's the Colorado Craft Company one. And I'm faffing around with ribbons and bits and pieces and trying to work out what I want to do. And I decide to cut myself a banner from this white. It's actually pre-adhesive cardstock. It's quite thin. It's not a thick cardstock. But I did that and then added this little piece of ribbon. Again, faffed around a lot trying to work out what to do. But I ended up just tucking it behind the little banner, added another piece of adhesive just in case, and just stuck it down in the sky. You know what? Sometimes simple just works, and this worked. Now, I will admit that die cut word has been stacked several times, so it's a bit chunky, and it works, therefore, really well to just finish the card off. And so, a nice simple one. Really love this. I love the colours in the sky, in the night sky, like the Northern Lights effect, and a lovely, simple, silent night winter scene. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Would you have a go at recreating something along these lines? And how would you interpret the theme of Silent Night? But thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.